This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website, portfolio, and online store. For a free trial and 10% off, visit squarespace.com and enter the offer code Walk in the Room at checkout. A better web starts with your website, not a better wed. That doesn't even make sense.
And fittingly, there's a dog barking.
What's going to mark the occasion of the 200 is in classic Walking the Room style.
Yeah.
Nothing special about it at all. No guests. It's not live.
We tried to get guests.
There's no special T-shirt. There's nothing.
We tried to get Marin or Patton.
Right.
Patton there was a sickness in my house the first time, and he's like, I'm not coming over, which is reasonable. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Well,
the sickness was failure.
Right.
He didn't want to come over and catch failure.
Catch that.
Yeah.
And then Marin, who we asked today, was he's flying in from Cleveland and fighting with someone on Twitter about almost missing his plane. So Marin almost missed his plane and then said that on Twitter, and someone said, "Oh, first world problems. This is why someone hates Americans." And then naturally Mark got into it with that person, as he fucking should.
Yeah.
What do you think Twitter is? Just for fucking, oh man, hey, my hut burned down. Like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, it's Twitter. Gee, holy fuck.
First world problems. Well, here's the thing that you described in that. It's still a problem. Am I not allowed? It's all relative. And by the way, the guy that lives in a can doesn't have Twitter. So, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I love that. Can you find it? It's
happening right now.
Is it happening right now?
All right. This is the 200th episode of Walk in the Room. We're going to talk about, where we've come over the past 200. And where it's not going.
And if you want a short synopsis, it's just the same. Anyway.
Walk in the Room.
Walk in the Room.
Walk in the room. Walk in the room. With Dave Anthony and Baron Shaw.
Walk in the Room.
It's the 200. No guests, nothing special, and you can't get a new T-shirt. The 200 because we forgot.
We're giving away a Cadillac.
It's old.
I wish we were giving away a Cadillac.
We got it from the junkyard.
I wish we both drove Cadillacs.
Yeah. I mean,
But
aside from the gas mileage we'd be getting, because every time I see someone in a Cadillac, I like, you look fucking awesome.
Can I
and
tell
then
you something?
think you're paying so much
Can
money.
I tell you when you don't have to worry about gasoline? Can I tell you when you don't have to worry about gas mileage?
Yeah.
When you're going nowhere. Our Cadillacs would just sit in the fucking. They'd be too much money. They would fuck up our mortgage payments or our rent, and then they'd sit in our.
They just fucking
go
sit
nowhere.
there. There it is, baby.
Yeah, I drove my Cadillac to the podcast.
Those things, though, those old Cadillacs, like, they don't have power steering and shit, right?
No.
Like, every time I see someone driving an old car, like, Capatch has got a couple of old fucking Volkswagens.
Of course he does.
And those things have no power steering, and that's like, fuck everything about driving that way.
Yeah.
And, like, I love the idea of an old car if they could throw some power steering up in that bitch.
Well, I mean, I bet that's something you could change. I don't know.
You could put power steering in, like if you bought a '67 Mustang, you think you could throw some power steering up in there?
I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure dudes that
I want you to
rebuild
tell
cars.
me right now.
Yes.
Don't give me some. I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
it's
yeah,
possible
yeah.
shit.
You could. Yeah, you could. I would probably do it. I do it myself. I love to do that shit. I love to throw the hood open, which is the one in the back,
Take
right?
it around in the tranny.
Yeah, I like to
Tranny's
take a tranny. I know we're not talking about transgender people. We're talking about the transmission.
Which, by the way, episode 2. So I went back because I was like, okay, we're gonna be talking about the 200.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's a big milestone, right?
By the way, it's not
episodes.
200 episodes. It's 200 hours of
200
podcasting, which is
hours.
not very long. It's not that many.
It's not that big of a deal when you think about it that way. Jesus Christ, you guys talked to each other for 200 hours over like 5
That's
years?
a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it was
But what's
really,
worse is you listen to it.
So I went back and I listened and I was like, I wonder what the first one sounded like. It wasn't that great.
And yet,
From the beginning,
right?
like it started out with us talking about well, first of all, you were clearly down on the idea of podcasting. You're like, we're getting in the game too late. What the fuck are we doing? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
There are 5 people listening, which you continued on for the next 150 episodes.
Well, we both talked about it. Oh, but also, where with a lot of podcasts that's being humble, I was just stating fact.
Yeah.
I was like a scientist, and I'd gone out and done the
But
research.
you were saying that we were getting in too late, and it turns out we weren't getting in too late. People didn't get in too late until later, 2 years after we're doing
No,
ours.
if you're starting a podcast now, welcome. You're round 2.
You say
There's
that.
never not a time. That's like saying to somebody you shouldn't buy a radio station or you shouldn't be
No,
in television.
like
Well, you
Danny-
shouldn't buy a radio station.
Danny Gould
actually.
starts a podcast, and he's up in the top 10 or whatever. Like,
Right.
you
He
can start
started
a
it 5
podcast
minutes
whenever.
ago. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. just started tweeting this weekend, and he has 6.4 million
Did
followers.
he start tweeting this weekend?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like those people are just being told by the movie marketing people, you have to start a Twitter feed. Because I saw someone else that who told me they never wanted to be on Twitter, and now they're on Twitter, and I was like, oh, you have something coming out, you have to. Like the people at all the studios go, no, you have to be on Twitter to.
I think that's part of it. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. needs it. I think he's at that echelon where, he's in that same ballpark as Brad Pitt and those people that don't know to do it. But what I do think, and I think this is why Stiller's done it, is if Robert Downey Jr. wants to say to people, throw some money at Haiti or whatever, he's got that right there.
Like literally just throw it at Haiti?
That seems that's a shitty way
Is there more? Are they being more focused about it than that?
No, I don't think that they are. I think that's the problem with most charities. It's the delivery system that fucks it up. You can't just throw
Yeah.
the money at people.
No, it's
They don't-
really bad.
Hey,
Just pull up in a boat, tie a dollar bill around a rock, and just fucking throw it at the island.
But here's the thing.
Hit a Haitian.
How would you react? Like, here's the thing. So let's say there was a game where people were allowed to throw a rock at you.
Yeah.
From not too far away.
Uh-huh.
But there was 100 strapped to it.
I'm in.
Right. At some point, you're like, I can take it, just hit me in the shoulder blade. Like, how hard can you take a rock in the arm or try to get it in the gut so that you can get that hunt?
I can take one on the shoulder.
That seems like a pretty good new game show.
Yeah, well, you take a rock.
How bad do you want this fin?
How bad do you want the bill? And then
Yeah.
it's just different things that it's
Different
tied
ways
to.
that we tie it to.
Like you could tie it to a ball with spikes coming out of it.
Well, we just rocket different shit at you. Like,
What
even
about
one of them's wrapped around cow shit.
What about a bullet?
Somebody would do it.
Somebody would
do it.
Somebody.
Did you ever see that classic old video? I know this is like maybe early days of the internet, maybe the first day of the internet, but it's a girl from New Zealand who decides to stick her bare ass against an electric fence.
What?
I stumbled on
wait.
this. They're two Kiwis and they're out in
what
the
happens?
field.
Tell me she shits.
No, it's better. So it takes her forever to do it. Her friends, she's like, count down from 5. And her friend goes 5, 4, 3. No, I'll count down from 10. Do it again. Like, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Finally, she sticks her ass against it.
Yeah.
And then she shoots forward
Yeah.
and she lands, her face lands in cow shit. Or dog shit. And then she gets up and she is just screaming. And she's clearly got shit in her eye and in her mouth. And it's just, I'm like, that is walking the room.
That's why the internet was made.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, no, I
No
watched.
one was going to put that on ABC
No,
before.
dude, I got to tell you something. You and I, when we were in that hotel room, we watched a little bit of the ridiculousness, and
Yeah,
and
I
at
love
first we're like, and then all of a sudden we're like, this is, and it's well done, and that guy's good.
That guy is good.
That guy's good.
The other people on the couch, I don't know what they're there for. Plus that show.
It's almost like they are a reason for him to talk
yeah.
because nobody ever says anything that's really that great.
Nope. And it's much better than Tasho, I think, which that's easy for me to say, though.
We watched it. I don't mind Tosh. I watched one the other night. I don't mind it so much. I don't mind him. He can be pretty
bugs
funny.
me. I don't know. He bugs me.
Yeah, but he's got a good sense of humor. I mean, he's funny. You have to say he's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. I get that.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. But but the ridiculousness is but that's more the shit that you like. Like that, it's all backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
And what can you set fire to?
Yeah.
And
then they do the quick high speed recap of the whole show. Which
but the
is
best
fucking
one,
awesome.
which was the best one was if it had been you and I as little boys, we'd known each other. And it would have gone like this: you in a tree getting a grapefruit, off a ladder.
Yep.
And then me screaming grapefruit
Yep.
and knocking the ladder out from underneath
Yeah,
you.
and then I end up
and then
landing.
both of us getting hurt.
And then I end up landing on the ladder because you didn't knock it all the way out. Yeah, that about sums up. I would say that's my career because of you. So I listened to the first podcast, number 1. It doesn't start out that great because we're not really sure what it is yet, and we're just kind of talking about the talk show and stuff.
Yep.
But by segment 2, 2 things have happened that made me laugh, and I didn't get all the way through it because Jesus, how can you people listen to
Yeah.
this shit?
It sounds like it was recorded in an old can of Folgers in
It's
a
not
garage.
as bad as like when I try to upgrade the system because we did it for the first 2 on that snowball mic up in your
The
office.
snowball mic was the coolest looking worst idea that's ever happened
It's
to
a
recording.
terrible. It's like, hey, look at this mic. It looks cool. It looks like a snowball. Also, it's going to pick up everything everywhere.
Thoughts, your blood rushing, a fart, like it's all that, which is all more interesting than what you have to say.
What's that sound? Oh, you can hear the couch on this. So then we tried to upgrade to a soundboard, which a lot of people I know use, and I only had one mic on for like 8 episodes. So that's happening. And
Yep.
then after 10, we go back to that, just the solo mic thing. So the sound isn't great, but it's not as bad as it does get after in like 3. Anyway, so we talk about 2 things in segment 2 right before I turned it off. You had just come back from Australia and
Right.
you loved it and you wanted to move there, which you said in the last podcast,
Yeah.
195 that we did.
Yep.
And then I said all of Australia is on fire, which has been a common theme since this podcast began, is that Australia is on fire all the time.
Look, they're covered in. There's insects there. There's spiders that can eat cows.
Yeah, there's a worm that looks like it's like the size of your arm.
Yep. Part of the country is actually just made of snake. It's, and yet it is filled with the people.
No, they're great.
They're fucking great.
Yeah, they are the
And
best
when
people.
I said I wanted to live there, people were offering up, I will be your bass player, which I think, God, person's
don't-
really on a, that's, no. First off, bad career choice.
Why don't you set higher expectations for yourself in your life?
If your goal is to join the King Sweater, it may be. There's 2 things: either shut it off or see a doctor.
There's an organization called Sad for You, which you should head down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, I love Australia. My wife laughed when she heard the podcast and you were like, you guys can't just, she's like, I can't move. She cannot move to Australia. It's not happening.
Yeah, we'll get there. Maybe part of the year.
I'll go next year for the festival. But
What if
that's
you
it.
explain to your wife that you could make money there? What if she didn't have
Doesn't
to work?
matter, but she wants to work. She's not like, that's not who she is.
I know, but
she
why?
Got a fucking, she got a fucking doctorate.
I know, but I don't understand how she can't work there.
She would have to. You can't just take your education and go, I got a doctorate in America. You then have to study again and get a license again, and you have to do it all over again. You can't just jump down there and go, I'm good to go. It's not like a comedian where you're like, hey man, I can hit the stage here.
Really? So
yes.
you're saying I don't.
Well, you don't believe it?
No, because surgeons fly all over the world and work. Surgeons fly all over the world and cut into people in different countries. Have they get a pass somehow?
They cut into people. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, that's what surgeons
it's not
do.
the same thing because there's completely different rules for psychology. Because you can, like, if you're cutting into a dude,
you're saying
those things can be accredited all over the
American,
world.
You don't know how fucked up we are here in Australia. You got to play
No.
Australian rules crazy.
Here's the deal.
Is there Australian rules crazy?
No, there's American rules crazy. Here's the deal. If everyone's the same.
People are loving this conversation.
No,
by the way.
everyone's the same. If you cut into a dude, it's not like you're gonna be like, well, there's 4 hearts. Like every fucking dude is the same inside.
right.
But people's brains aren't the same. And so therefore each place, each country, and each state even has different rules as far as what you can and cannot do with a person in a therapy situation.
I see, but then they should not be allowed to watch Dr. Phil then because he's preaching.
My wife
America.
is totally on board with that. Why don't you just stop?
Here's the thing.
Because I have years of psychological
but-
damage. Well, don't. And you should trust me because I used to have a fucking cattle farm or some shit.
I just
I'm
feel
a
like you're
pig.
going to be super bummed when I go over there and start a show with Arj.
What did I say that is?
Dave Thornton, I would like to hang out with him.
I like Dave Thornton. You should see if he is as entertaining as I am.
Well,
we know he's
only
better
that-
looking.
Well, we know that he's also probably more entertaining than both of us put together. But the point is, yeah. And then, I'm going to talk to some young podcasters while I'm over there, see what the deal is. Vague stories may take off.
You're there right now. You're
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So this is 3 weeks that you're in. So you've probably already done your festival run.
Yeah, I'm in the
200
first
comes
week.
out.
I'm on the first week of the road show.
Yeah.
And I've already been kicked off the bus.
And I've had three guest hosts.
Yeah.
And right now people are like, I kind of like the podcast better without Greg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then the 200 comes out and people are like, ugh.
Oh, God. I forgot how horrible this was.
Back to the muck is what that was going to be called.
Yeah. I actually was told the other day that people get the people that are hardcore with this, and I've heard this from comedians and from other fans, that the fan of this show is really deep. It goes deep. We may not have as many as certain people, but I think on the depth chart, and they get bummed if there's not one or when they're late, even.
Oh, they do get upset when it's late.
Yeah, when they're late, and because they depend on it. And I think that is that's called addiction. And that is really not good,
Right.
guys.
You need to get your shit together.
Yeah. No, it's flattering to hear that. It's nice to know that.
Well, let's-
Okay.
let-
Let's keep
we-
going.
we
You want to
can-
talk about the one?
Well, we can do that. So I mean, the reason the one happened was because, well, I'll just say where I was at. It's so funny because I talked to this guy, Charles Vandervetter, who we saw
in New York.
He came to
out
Star
the show.
Fish Circus.
Yeah,
And
good
he used
guy.
to be
He's a comic
comedian.
that we both knew from San
Yeah,
Francisco.
and he's a comedian that I enjoyed and a friend of mine. And and then he up and moved to New York. His wife, crazy story. His wife gets into medical school, right? She's been trying to get into medical schools forever. She gets into one. I think it was in Rhode Island or something. They fucking move. She gets there. She's pregnant. They're like, you can't go to medical school.
Right.
So they literally sold their house, moved. They get there and it's like, nope. So then they like move to New York and they try to start over again. She never ended up being able to go to medical school. She's a journalist though. She's had a great career. I think she worked on Christian Amanpour's show. Like she's like a legitimate good journalist.
Yeah.
And now he works in ads and advertising. It's just such a crazy, because I was like, because when you get to this age, you start talking to people about, well, how did it go for you? Even the people who it didn't pan out showbiz wise, you're like, so what happened?
Yeah.
Because there's very few people that are like, I've known Patton all along, but that's Patton. But most people don't have Patton's journey or Bill Burr's journey. Most people have something completely fucking different.
Well, yes and no. I mean, from our particular group of guys, like, I was talking to David Martin, my manager, who I've gone. You've heard, if you've been following this podcast, I loved him, then I hated. I was furious with him. He's great. And I was talking to him about getting on Midnight and doing Conan. And I said, yeah, well, I'd love to do it at Midnight just because it would be fun, and I just feel like I need to be on something. And he said, yeah. He goes, we'll try and get you on there. I don't think it's a problem. But most of your peers aren't on at Midnight.
Right.
And I said, right, because they're in the movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and a lot of the people that we started with, most have stuck with it and done well. I don't know that many people who left it. Or at
no,
least
I do.
maybe,
If I went through
my
a
crew.
list, you would be like, oh yeah, that person's not there anymore. Oh yeah, that person's not there anymore. Or they're.
But did you I guess the people that we hung out with were gamers. Like there are people that were
Yes.
funny that you were like, you can barely get it together to find an open mic.
Yes.
You're a genius.
Yes.
But you're not going to be in show business
Van
because you don't
Washington.
have
Van Washington.
I mean, there are people that, that's just weird. But there are people that that got into it, because they wanted to, I don't know, they had some creativity that they want to get out. But then there are people like, this is a business. I want to be in show business. I want to figure out how to be in the business of show. Patton was one of those people from the second it started.
Yes.
I came out with a little bit more idealism of like, I'm an artist and it's going to happen this way. And then,
Boy, did that not.
it didn't happen that way. But it happened in a
But
completely different way.
anyway-
Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
So I was talking to Charles,
Charles.
and he was like, he goes, right. Like the last time we were hanging out, you were like, I'm quitting stand up. I just can't do this anymore. And that was like 2004. I think I've said that like 3 times. 2004, and then right before I started this podcast.
Yep.
I was just like, it doesn't.
And
because it doesn't-
and I think there was actually a time during this podcast as well.
yeah, but there was. That's right, there was, because right before I started this podcast, I had been at the top of the list for a Comedy Central half hour for 2 years, and the first time they're like, okay, yeah, he's at the top of the list next year, and then someone else came in to book the half hours,
Right.
So I had to work my way up through that person, and then I had a set, and they're like, okay, great, he's at the top of the list for next year, and I had a whole fucking notebook of 2 years of comedy,
Right.
and I have the shittiest fucking memory in the world. So if I don't write down, like I tell stories, but I write down the jokes in the stories so I remember them, or else it's just a shitty story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had 2 years of that, and I had Finn, and then they came back and said, "What's up?" And I lost the notebook, and I had no. Melanie's like, "Can you just put something together for him?" And I was like, "I don't have anything." Like, I can't think of anything except for like 10-year-old shit that I have written down.
Right.
So that was gone too. So it was like I had that thing where they're like, yes, next year he's going to get a half hour. And then it'd be like,
Why didn't you ask me? I remember your act. I remember better than I remember my own.
I never thought of
was
asking
touring with
other
you
people.
a ton because
I never thought of asking.
because right before that happened, you know, I lost the talk show in 2006, and then I was making good money and able to take features with me, and so I took you to San Jose, and I took you.
Were we
went
touring
to,
after the talk show?
Yeah, right after, immediately. Immediately that summer, we went like as soon as the shows were still running,
Right.
but the show stopped taping, and we went out like the very next week, and you and I went to San Jose.
Yeah, for
and my dad shot it.
Angela Johnson opened for us.
Angela Johnson was just doing a guest set. She was doing a guest set that
And
night,
that place went apeshit
packed
for her.
for her.
'Cause
I
she
mean, they
had a-
stayed. I think that's why in that special, in that guy from that thing, my audience is mostly
Oh, right.
Asian and Hispanic.
Right.
In Uncool, it's mostly women.
Yeah. Well, no, Asian and Hispanic people can also be women.
Absolutely not. I guess I was trying to describe the bulk. You know what I'm saying.
You're welcome. You're listening
Well,
to,
walk in the
to
room.
Describing Humans with Greg Barron and Dave
My
Anthony.
God.
So anyway, so when I started this, I was like fucking done, and I had been with Finn for like just taking care of him on my own 6 days a week.
Right.
While my wife fucking tried to get her whatever business going. So I was with him going insane, and I think it had been like 8 months, and I started looking at people's podcasts doing well on like iTunes. People who I mostly respect, but a few who I think are just shitty, unfunny people who had a successful podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was kind of like, this is my last shot or I'm just done.
Right. Right. I mean, I only remember that you brought it up a couple times, and I was like, I don't know. You know, I had that like, well, Pardo and Marin are already doing it.
Right.
You know how you are in show business. Like, well,
I mean, there's only
can do it.
I mean, it's just like when they make TV shows, they only make 2.
yeah. I mean, I just didn't think about it. But I also
There's already a Lost in Hawaii 5-0.
I had no familiarity with them. I had only been listening to Marin's, which I thought was great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we can't do that. You know,
Right.
I didn't have a plot for this, and I was fucking burned, dude.
Yeah.
I was burned out, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to put any more. I'd spent money making a Monarchs record, which great story about that is we make money off that record every single year.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I know people. It's interesting. We can talk about that later. But point is, I'd spent enough money on shit, and
Yeah.
I produced all those Ask Gregs in the you know, I shot stuff. Like I had tried to do something, and I was fucking done. I was pissed, and my stand-up career wasn't going the way I really wanted it to, and I just been to Australia and was like, oh my God, I'm going to move here. This is where I got a taste. I got a taste of what it was like to start fresh.
Right.
And so I didn't want to come back and try and win my way into podcasting or anything else. I wasn't into it. So I literally was like, you buy the shit, you bring it to my house, I'll be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Because you'd been doing one by yourself.
It also doesn't cost any money. I did one on my own and it was weird, but it doesn't cost any money
No, but I
to
didn't
do
want
a
to be.
podcast.
Here's why this thing worked, and I will tell you this. If this had been my idea, you would have quit at one point because there were days
Yeah.
where you were super frustrated. But because this was your idea and you'd be pissed about it, I'd be like, fine, let's not do it. Because I knew because of the way our relationship works, a lot of the things that we worked on in the past had been things that I had were not my idea, but things that happened to me. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, Dave, do you want to be a part of this?
Yeah.
Right? In this situation, this was your idea. This was your thing. You put it together. You produced it. You were the one that was like driving for it, asking for it. And I realized this would only work if you did it. Because if
Right.
I did it, it was
No,
better
it
this
would
way.
be no. You couldn't. You couldn't have done
I'd
it.
still be picking out a font
No, I know. I know.
and talking about what we're going to wear for the podcast. Like, I was on stage the other night doing
You
the
just
thing.
be trying.
I was on stage the other
You'd
night.
be trying to figure out how to ship people flavors
Yes.
through the internet.
Yeah. Can we do this one? Can we make this one fuzzy so people can rub it on them? The other night I was on stage with the King Sweater, and I said, or as the King Sweater, and I said, I repeated your joke. I said, do you guys? I was talking to my friend today, my friend Dave, and I said, you know why I have this band? And he said, yes, so you can play dress up, and he's right. That fucking plays one nuts.
All right, so that's where we were when this thing started, and we'll talk about where it went from there.
Yeah,
It's been pretty weird.
yeah, it's been really weird.
I'll be right back.
You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line. The short blew up. It clearly is.
And guys, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. I have been using Squarespace for a couple of years now with my own website, daveanthony.com. You can go look at it. Oh, so beautiful. It's like looking at a sunset. That's how pretty it is. Other places, WordPress, they're like looking at like a dirty thing on a shoe. The great thing I like about Squarespace is that it's simple and it's easy. You can drag and drop stuff. They got 24/7 support. Plans start at $8 a month. You get a free domain name if you sign up for a year. What are you kidding me? Even if you don't need a website, why would you not go get one when you hear that? I can't say enough about them. They've been really great to us, and they've been great to the Podfest. And I think it's the best web building company out there. Why can't I say web today? What's wrong with me? Squarespace, a better starts with your website.
200.
2 coins in a fountain.
200. This is the 200th episode of Walk in the Room.
And it's also the second.
Maybe better that we didn't have a guest. Maybe. Well, oh yeah, dude.
Patton
Didn't
would have been a
have
really good guest because
Patton
he
would have.
listens to the show.
Yeah.
Or Posehn. We could have got someone that listens to the
AG
show.
listens. Yeah.
AG, yeah.
There's a few comics that listen. So anyway, when we started doing it, I don't know. It was amazing to me how quickly the numbers jumped.
Well, to be fair.
we had 276 the first episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we've made fun. I mean, we joke about this, but I've been doing stand up for a long time. I do have a fan base. It's just not massive.
Right.
And those people, a lot of people that like my comedy hadn't been. One of the points that you made was, this is just for your fans.
Your stand-up
and
fans.
I hadn't been giving the fans that like comedy any content.
Right.
Even when I would
you
do a
st-
special.
and you still haven't.
I still don't.
you still haven't
No, I'm in complete agreement.
They're
I'm in
still
complete.
waiting.
You'll never get an argument from me about that. But so a lot of those people showed up, and oddly, a pretty good chunk of people that followed you on Suicide Girls, like a very interesting group of people, girls that were down from the book that would be down for anything. You know, the ones that went to the stand-up shows and stayed.
Yeah.
You know, that handful of, like, we had a very interesting mix at the beginning. And to be fair, we had done like 10 of them. And I was in Seattle at Bumbershoot. I think it was for Bring the Rock. And Patton stopped me in the lobby and said, "You have to do this for 5 years. You can't stop doing it."
Patton.
No, he said,
Why?
because he felt like
Patton.
I know, but Patton was an early supporter.
Yeah.
And he would support us by saying, if you would like to waste an hour of your life, or if you want someone to shit in your ear.
He stopped that though, didn't he?
He's on to other things. He's a big deal now. He's like getting in Rolling Stone or some shit in the old days. He supports the podcast in his heart, and that's all we need. But no, he did us an enormous service. I mean, literally, he would say something about us, and we'd add 800 fans, and then we'd lose 400 of them. But
900.
900 of them. But the point is, he was a big supporter of it, and I think what his point was, and I think it's well taken, and I think we've stuck with that, is this is a thing that has to just keep going. It can't. It's not. It's almost like you're saying this isn't a quick hit.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other thing is just the reason I brought up Charles is because he was like, you know, you're ready to quit stand-up, and I said, well, I would have quit stand-up if it wasn't for the podcast. Like, right, if it wasn't for the podcast,
100%.
I would just be a commercial actor. I wouldn't be on Maron. I think the reason I'm on Maron is because of the crossover of podcasting, and Maron still saw me trying at this. Because Maron has a respect for guys that still try at stand-up or are still punching through. But if I was just a commercial guy and I'd see Maron around, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "I'm acting in commercials." He would not have had me on the show.
I'm not really sure if I would go with that theory because I'm not on Maron.
Right. So we're both making the same point.
I think in fact I've probably done more stand-up than Maron. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the one thing for me that my only one thing is, like, I don't think people understand that I do stand up, and I've done it more than most people. I tour.
You did the other thing. You people don't know you from that.
But I didn't stop touring then. I toured when I could, and I've always toured.
Right.
And I've always toured a lot. So I've actually done, no, I'm talking about actually performing stand up and going out and done. I've done it more than most people. I've done it more than most comics.
Right.
But it doesn't have that resonance within the comedy community that I'm actually a lifer.
Right. No, that's true.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's true because you did the talk show and you have the book, so people think that you have this other thing going on. It's always going to be.
Well,
that
they
way.
did. I think now
And
it's
I think
changing
everyone's
a little
like,
bit.
now what does he do? I think he makes dresses. I'm not.
That isn't out of the question. Pajama bottoms for sure.
So I don't think I would have any of that.
No, I don't think so either. That, and you're also your Twitter feed. I think you spar with Maron, and I think those guys, and I think that there's something about what you do. And also Mark, to be fair, also has always said on his podcast that he liked you. And I also think it didn't hurt us that his girlfriend at the time was a huge fan and would constantly report back about how much she liked the show. And I think, say what you will about that relationship, I know he respected her taste in comedy because she was a lifer in terms of liking comedy. Jessica, very supportive, very cool, and she helped us. She brought Maron to our first live podcast,
Which helped us a lot.
Yeah, no, there. It's that thing of like there are certain things along the way. There are certain people along the way. You have sort of like these saints that do follow you and do support you, and they help you out. And Maron
and Patton about. You know what was weird? So last night I was sitting watching. I was looking at Twitter and everyone kept posting stuff about Attell's specials on tonight, which I thought was. I had two feelings.
He has a new one.
Yeah,
on HBO.
No, it was on Comedy Central. It was fucking fantastic. It was the most Attell as you'll ever see Attell. He went to like different clubs, like 4 clubs. He did like the Stress Factory. He did Acme. He did something in like Hawaii or something. And he did one other one. And he would give a camera to the guy in the audience, like hold that and film my show. And then there were like 2 other cameras, and it was something you've never seen if you're like, I watched Attell every fucking night in New York because I went on after him for a year. You don't know what Attell is until you've seen Attell in a club.
Right.
So when you see him on TV and you go, I don't really get it. No, you don't. because you're watching Comedy Central edit out what they want to edit out. This was pure Attell, and it was fucking dirty, and it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
And my wife got up in the middle and said, "You're funnier," and went to bed.
Right.
Which is all that works good.
Yes.
But
yeah.
But it was great to watch. But the thing this bothers me. Now, when I put out my album, which my album would have never happened if not for two things: the podcast and Finn. Because if Finn hadn't been born, I wouldn't have ever said I need to have something to show him that I tried.
Right. Of
know
course.
what I mean?
And also, I would also say I'm going to have to throw one extra thing in there, and that is Will Anderson.
And Will Anderson, of course.
And Will Anderson. Because
Totally,
Will Anderson built, because, I mean, not that it wasn't popular here, but it was big in Australia.
Yes, it
Right.
totally helped. And Patton here helped a lot too. So
And ultimately me.
and
Because
those four things.
ultimately me, because if I hadn't given you that list of open mics when we first met,
So what was I talking about?
I like my thank you on the record.
Oh, did I?
No.
So I never got around to making a.
Yeah. Yeah, you're thanked on all
hard
the
copy.
Monarchs
I
records.
don't have a hard copy.
That's weird.
I don't have a hard copy. I'd never made a hard copy.
You put thank yous on the Bandcamp page. We do.
Who did I put?
I'm going to go take yours off.
You didn't deserve it, as I recall. Did you deserve it?
Yes.
Well, this is weird. This is weird. It's weird to end the podcast at 200.
On some level, it makes so much sense. It's a nice, tidy number.
All right, so all of these comics were tweeting, "You got to watch Attell tonight. You got to watch Attell tonight." Like everybody, like
Yeah.
it was unparalleled that I've seen.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, "Well, that's cool," and the other part of me is like, "Why the fuck don't you cunts do that for the guys who really need it?" Not that I still hold a little bit of a grudge.
I'll give you-
against the fucking comics who didn't
I'll
tweet
give you- I'll
that
give
I
you-
had an album, but I had like 7 comics or 8 comics tweet that my album was coming out, and so guys who and flat out, there are a lot of dudes who I no longer respect the way I did before, and I remember it. Because when I fucking needed you, and when you come up to me and go, "Hey, did you see my show?" I didn't. Because I don't give a fuck anymore about supporting you. Because when I needed you, where the fuck were you?
Yep.
Where the fuck were you? So there's a whole group of comics who have just sort of been washed away, and I literally like,
Dude, my Twitter
one of
feed
them had a
was
big
broken.
thing. One of them had a big thing come out, and I went, I don't even want to watch it. I don't even want to watch it.
I'm looking forward to talking off air about who these people are.
Yeah, we can.
Here's the thing. Part of it is professional jealousy. Part of it is
Professional jealousy of me getting an album,
but here's the
a
thing.
shitty fucking.
But here's the thing. And this is just called insecurity. I will tweet out anything that I just think is great. I don't
Yeah,
give
me
a fuck
too.
who does it.
Yeah.
And I get stoked. I like to fucking retweet a girl who has 4 followers and said one funny thing.
When I saw Claudia O'Doherty's fucking England travel thing that she did online,
Yeah.
I fucking was straight up and was tweeting like, "This
Yeah.
is the fucking funniest thing
But
I've
you
seen."
do
in
that
ages.
not because you want kickback, but because you're excited and you're excited. Tweeting about a star, no problem.
Yeah, it's easy,
He's not
right?
your competition.
right,
You're kissing his ass a little bit.
right.
He is inspirational. There aren't that many Attells. There's only one. It's a safe tweet.
Yeah,
Tweeting about your competition or saying you love Ryan Stout or
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like anytime
Yeah.
I get a chance to say Rory Scovel or Chris Fairbanks
Yeah.
or even Jackie Cation, you know, like there's people where I need to, but there's also people who are like, I'm not going to tweet your album today. Everyone's going to tweet it. I'll tweet it in a month no, I'm not kidding you. A month from now, I'm not shitting you. A month from now, when people are done tweeting about it, I'll bring it back up again because
Yeah.
it's neat when somebody suddenly
Right.
goes, you know, like people do that with the Monarchs, where all of a sudden it'll just a flurry of them will come up a couple months later. That's when I need it. I don't
Yeah.
need it the day the record came out. Everybody
Right.
knows.
Right.
So there's something in that. But I think, but there are people who have big feeds who know they can help you.
Yep.
Who don't.
Who
and
don't.
that's just
Noted. But and
Noted.
here's the thing: like we know you have a big feed. We know you could have helped, and you didn't, and we know that.
right.
So when you have a book come out or whatever, and you say, "Hey, can you tweet this?"
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I
And
can't.
but it's interesting too. This is one of the nice things about Twitter is the person who tweets you had no idea didn't even followed you.
Yeah.
Who's a big deal.
True.
The weird support that you go, I don't know, Tom Lennon cared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are some people that like, or who quietly listen to the podcast and then say something to you about it. Like, say what you will about Jenny McCarthy. I don't care. You know, she's
Yeah, you
she's,
do.
I don't.
If I sat here and said everything I want to say about Jenny McCarthy, you would.
Here's the thing. I will say no. I'm going to say this to you right now.
Is she in the house right now?
She doesn't. I don't think she's buying a purse. She doesn't. She knows where she's at with it. She gets shit on all the time. She doesn't give a shit. Jenny McCarthy's one of the only people that stuck with me and helped me out when I needed it.
Right.
There are closer friends who have not offered the same. There are people that could have helped me in certain ways or done certain things for me that have not.
Right.
So who's the better friend? Who's the person that really, like, who are the people? And it's never who you think it's going to be.
Right.
And it's, you know, and quite honestly, when Patton was tweeting about this at that point, we were not close at all. We hadn't drifted very far apart. We just had. It just was show business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't know he was paying any attention to what we did.
Right.
So I was surprised by it. I've gotten, over the years, Janine Garofalo, David Cross have always offered their, you know what I mean? There's certain people that stuck with you. And then there's people who won't be mentioned who
won't
go
be
fuck
mentioned.
themselves.
Yeah.
Also, why do you follow them then? Get off my fucking dick.
I thought about unfollowing them, but then it just gets weird. And I'm not friends with them anymore. I'm just like, well, that's who you are.
Right.
Like I'm the kind of guy that, like we said, if someone puts out something and I fucking dig them, I will tweet that shit and I will or I will back them up when they do something funny and get it out there. But then if that isn't returned, you go, oh, okay, so we're not on the same wavelength here. We're not doing the same thing.
Well, here's the sample. But then there's people I don't get. Like yesterday, Brendan Walsh said, I need people to come to my show. Now, Brendan is a friend and somebody I really like.
Is he in Australia?
He's Australia.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And because we have a big fan base there, I retweeted it for him because I want him to. And then somebody wrote back, hey, you guys should do a show together, whatever, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The point is that I don't need Brendan Walsh to do anything for me.
No, but
and I
Brendan is
don't
funny as
want
shit.
anything from him. But I like him.
Yeah.
And I want him to have success. So why wouldn't
Yes.
I don't care about other people's success.
Yeah.
Anybody else's success has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
But I get the Attell thing. But Attell is like, Hicks is like, Patton is like, Louis is like, it's an easy thing to say, and it's a
Go
comics
see that.
comic, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just is. And that's just, and same with Marin. You know, there are people that, you know, but also people are also happy to tell Marin he sucks.
Boy, are they. So anyway, so when we started, we were both fucking down in the shitter.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was at a time when the country was in the shitter, economically.
Yep.
Like all this shit had happened. So there are a lot of people out there who, I think that we started talking about how, like, no one had heard. I don't think this has ever been out there of two guys who it's not working out for in show business. One that people thought it was going great for, and another one that they'd never heard of.
Right.
And then we're talking about shit, and they're like losing their jobs, or they're fucking struggling, and they can't pay their credit card bills. And I just think there was a connection there. I think everyone was fucking struggling at the same time, and we just happened to be struggling in show business.
Well,
and I think that's why people started to listen.
And also, if I'm being completely honest, it was a beginning for me of a massive meltdown.
Yes,
Like
we
unaware.
have taken opposite tracks.
Yeah.
I've gone from I was in the middle of a meltdown, although I did have a bit of a meltdown halfway through this thing. Around the same time as you, I had a fucking midlife crisis right in the fucking middle.
Yep.
But I was in the doldrums when this thing started.
Yeah, I was just I was really lost, and then just planning on doing shit that had, like, I was just like, I'm in a band.
Right.
Not because I felt like that was gonna not because I felt like I was gonna be successful in a band. That's where I wanted to go escape.
Right. Well, that you were also making pants. Like there was a girl over here, and you guys were making pants together.
Right. I was trying to figure out what to do because I couldn't get work.
Right.
Like when we started was when the phone just stopped ringing completely.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of no. I mean, there's not a lot you can do
As a stand-up,
except for to create something new, and that takes time.
it does take time. And it's also, there's also this weird thing that, like, in this business, if you haven't become a guy, like a solid headliner, then there are younger guys that come up behind you who will work for cheaper, who will undermine you, and at that point you've got a house and things that you need to pay for.
Right.
So you can't take a cut and pay. It would be like if you were working in a company for 20 years and you worked your way up and you were a manager, and all of a sudden they were like, "We got a bunch of younger managers. Can you work for half as much?"
But I think that's always the way it is. I think that's always the cycle
Well,
because we were the
it
guy.
is, but-
because at some point they stopped hiring those people and started hiring me.
No, I
and I
know.
would go in for $2,000
Yeah.
a week, or I would go in for $1,000 a
Well,
week.
no,
and I would hustle.
we talked to a big headliner who we consider a big headliner who was like, I'm getting undercut. I can't get into rooms
But that's just
anymore."
good business.
I know it's good business, but
also-
but that's part of what that was.
Right. And I also think people go, well, I've had Greg here a couple of times, and it's okay. He's not Bill Burr, but I know I can get Kyle in here, and it's not going to cost me as much.
But also, like,
And I'm talking about Kyle Clark.
I can get Greg in here, and Greg can do okay, or I can get Brandon Walsh in here, who also does okay, but has a longer career ahead of him, so he
Right.
might be building to something else. So the guy who does okay,
You've spent time with Brendan. You don't know he doesn't even have a longer life left. I don't take offense at longer career. I just don't think he's going to live to see it.
so, but so there's this whole sort of dynamic out there that is pretty weird. Now the difference is that if you get your own thing going now, you can go out and just go do one room in one night and hopefully make a big bang and get the fuck out of there. Like, that has changed a little bit. I just saw Kanane's doing a tour of just fucking one room places, and he's gonna, nothing I had heard of, but they're all probably rock clubs or whatever, and he goes in and he does one night and he bails. Like, that's a new formula that wasn't around before.
It's a new formula that's around for guys that like Kyle and like that crowd. You also have to understand that each person builds their own crowd, and their crowd will go to the place they go to, not
Right.
the place they decide.
Right.
I'm a guy that people go to comedy clubs to see. They just do. That's
And
where
also
it
our-
happens. If
our-
I go to a rock club, I'm there alone with my band.
Yeah.
That's that's how that goes.
And also, as Kanane gets older, he'll realize that his fans are now getting married and having kids and not going out that much. Like, the whole fucking
100%.
dynamic changes.
It's just a cycle. The thing that you have to do, and this is my fault, is because I had opportunities that I could bank on that I just shut down because I was having a nervous breakdown and decided that everything I'd done in my past had ruined my future, and I gave up on everything. And so then I had no work, and I alienated my family. Like, we can talk about the anatomy of the whole breakdown, but the point is that I actually had the opportunities where I could do a little stand up and do a little this and do a little that, and I shut it all down and decided to make pants.
Right.
Obviously this year we put out a book, we've been on TV a few times, and I do a little bit of that. And then, that's the thing I could have just kept doing, and also other
All
things.
the other stuff. You didn't have to shut it all down, yeah.
But I also didn't know that there would be a vehicle like a podcast that would allow that. Because
Right.
without this,
Yeah, what do you think? Like, I know where I am without this. I know that I'm just a guy who's working in commercials, which I can make a fine living at. But that's not the thing that I wanted to do.
Right.
That's a day job.
right.
So I'm still working in show business, but I'm not doing stand up anymore. And I'm don't have a podcast, and that's all I do. And I'm not doing any legitimate acting work. I wouldn't be on Marin. I wouldn't be on any of the shows I've been on. That's where my career would be without the podcast.
Right. I mean, I can go dark with this and say that I could have either OD'd on dog pills or gotten divorced.
Really?
Yeah.
Without the podcast.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Yes, because this weekly exercise, two things happened. I lost my mind, but I also figured out who I am.
Right.
My stand-up wouldn't be good if I hadn't done this, because I now know how to go on stage and be myself because of this
Right.
podcast. I embrace the things about myself that I like, which is built a whole, there's a whole me that didn't exist before this podcast that was only in my head that's now real.
Right.
I've learned how to And I've also learned that the people that really like me don't give a shit what I do. Some of them like the books, some of them don't like the books, some of them like the band, some of them don't like the band, some of them like the stand-up, some of them like all of it. But they don't give a fuck. They're not worried about how I am perceived in the world, and I'm not worried how I perceive the world, because when I come here, I'm 100% me, and everybody gets that. And the rest of it, you can pick and choose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is the headquarters for all the other things that I do. I would be fucking lost. I would have really messed up or out of show, but I don't know. I don't know where I would have gone, because I don't. This thing, and I say it, it's way too dramatic to say it, but I feel like this thing saved my whole career.
Yeah.
And my sanity on some level.
Yeah.
Because being able to talk to you and watch it and eventually hear, dude, you're crazy. Like there's
You're still crazy.
there's that crazy, and then there's like, you're manic, you're screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not as manic as you were. You were definitely well, there was a roller coaster. It was the same ride that I kept going, oh, we're taking it again.
Yes. And I couldn't see it. And I'd be like, well, I'm quitting show, but I don't need to fucking do stand-up anymore. And then I'm fully, dude, I am only stand-up. I'm just going to work on my stand-up. Like, because I was searching, like people search, and you go, what was happening in my brain, which is what depression and anxiety and insanity are, was my brain would not let me have one singular idea or let me focus, and it would just shoot from place to place.
Yeah.
And my mood would change from room to room, and the people living around me were like, go fuck yourself. Like, you're a nightmare. And I couldn't see it. I would just think everybody else was fucked up, which is also part of it, where you start thinking, well, you just are too sensitive, and you don't understand me. And it was all this weird self-centered immolation that turned into bad behavior, for lack of a better description. But then it all crashed.
Well, yeah.
And in the last year, it's been the best year. This has been the best year in the last 10 for sure.
I would say it's probably been, career-wise for me, it's probably been the best. I had the album come out, which was big, and Marin, which has been huge.
And it's going to be bigger when it airs.
When it airs, yeah. Hopefully that becomes bigger. And then I have a deal at Amazon for a show that might be happening, but my writing partner fucked me, so we'll see what happens with that. But that might be made.
Right.
So I have 3 things going on, which I've never had that sort of level. And I just did another commercial, and I might do one in South Africa, which will be weird for the podcast if I have to go to South Africa for 10 days and you're in Australia for 10 days, but we'll see. But I might be going to South Africa for 10 days.
That'd be great.
We'll see. Not for my wife.
And what is the product?
It's some South African product. I don't even know what it is. I just got the initials, so I actually didn't even ask what it is. Because they had actually based the commercial on me. It's like a guy.
Wait a minute. Have they packaged failure? I don't understand. I didn't know. So you can actually buy Twitter rage.
Yes. I don't have Twitter rage.
I know,
I have Twitter hostility.
Well,
focused.
It has not always that focused.
I've actually cut it back. Now I just block people.
Yeah.
So all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do something we've never done. What do we think's gonna happen?
I don't know. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna talk about what we think's gonna happen.
Oh, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back to the final segment of Walk in the Room. This is 200.
Yeah.
We shut her down now, right? Shut her down.
Yeah, we got to shut her down. This has been a soul ride. I hope you enjoyed it.
Soul Ride.
I don't know what this one is.
You're listening to Soul Ride with Greg and Dave. Today we're just talking about love and shit. I was just thinking about leaves when I got here and how they're just different and how cool they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was thinking about love between the races.
Oh yeah, man. I wish there was more of it. You know
what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? I wish that the Indian people could get along
Also,
with the
we've been
Pakistanis, and the Pakistanis could get along with the people who listen to Fish.
I love that idea. Also, Dave and I have been asked to recreate the entire Bible, so we're going to do the
rewrite
Bible.
that shit.
We should actually do our audio book of the Bible.
people really enjoyed our religious segment.
Well, I'm saying we should release a special audiobook, 1 hour audiobook
On
of
the Bible? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just start with where we think the beginning is, and then the part where Genesis plays, right? And then we just go. I'm not even sure what the tail end of that guy is.
Yeah.
What happens? The ark. We could talk about the boat.
Yep, the boat. There's a whole boat thing.
Yeah.
That's at the beginning.
Yep.
The end. And
My favorite part's my favorite part of the Bible is gonna be when the two cheetahs get on that boat.
The end of the
fuck.
the end-
Why didn't he
I don't know
just
if
take
that happens.
cheetahs?
At the end, it's just like fire and
No, is it- it talks about what happens if-
The end of the whole book. Is
Does
like
it talk about end of days in the Bible?
What do you mean?
Is end of days in the Bible?
Revelations was. We're talking about Revelations. That's the.
That's a ride at Six Flags.
Oh no, they don't talk about that.
Oh, that's Revolution. We should.
So here's what I think happens.
Why don't you and I do a series where we cover the great books and we just talk about
What are we
the
talking
great
about?
books.
The Bible or just great books? Because I'm not going to fucking start reading Dickens just to do a podcast.
No. We haven't read the Bible. I've done parts of the Bible for dummies, but we go through some great literature that we know. Moby Dick,
Right.
Right?
Guy fought a fish.
right? Yeah,
Fish won.
but that dude was complex.
Super complex.
Yeah, complex. Also dull. That's a long
Yeah, I
and
never
he's like in a
liked it.
rowboat,
I
right?
gotta admit, I never liked that one. I never liked the Moby Dick. Didn't care. No.
Justin Van Warmer loves it.
I had to read Billy Budd. That book can go fuck itself.
I don't know about it, but is that the guy who's a dentist?
I couldn't tell you because I drew so many dicks in it. I have no idea. I got in trouble for that. I was going to Catholic school and I just kept
Oh, my
drawing
God.
dicks in my book because I was just dicks everywhere. And then and then when we finished the book, I threw it in the trash can and the nun picked it up and was like, "What?" And I was like, "That's what they look like, bitch. Them are dicks."
Them dicks.
I got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But not that much trouble. I said it was my book. I can draw whatever I want in it.
I mean, there is some truth to that.
Yep. All right, so where do you think your career goes from here?
I don't. You know what? The best thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I do know this. In this last year, the thing that I've tried to do is just keep working on all the things I'm working on and not make a decision, because my problem was always trying to forecast how it was going to be and what I was going to accomplish and what we needed to do. And now I just make music and do podcasts and do stand up and then, say, hey, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to make it small. I'd like to see, can I get a special done this year?
Yeah.
Even if I self-produce it? Can I make a record on my own? Can I make a solo record where I do all the guitar? The Monarchs have another record coming out,
You do have another record coming out?
yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna do a 6-song EP, and we also started a fan club thing called Amplify, where you join
Oh, right.
and you get a brand new song every month. And it's like, I'm trying not to plot it. I'm
Right.
trying not to not know where it's going, because I've been surprised. I've been on TV 4 times in this past year.
Yeah.
An hour on the thing and twice on the View, the Oprah thing, and then
Midnight.
I had a good run on Midnight, and so maybe I'll go back and do that at midnight. So I'm just trying to let it happen. I'm trying to put a Conan set together. I don't know. I've been trying to put a Conan set together since 2006.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Going on at midnight's bigger than going on Conan or any of those shows. That thing is.
Oh, really?
I added hundreds of followers. Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It was a good experience. I need that for my stand up.
Right.
I need that to. To keep going. I was at a club the other night and this guy goes, you're turning into like Billy Connolly, man. You're like, your stories are
yeah.
so great. And I
Wow.
was like, okay. So
That's good.
I guess my best thing is just to not plot it. But I want to do more things through this podcast. Like I want to do that New York show is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to make that Chicago show happening, which
Yeah.
I'm working on now. With and I've had some other. As soon as I said it, I ran into Dan Tefler. He's like, I can help you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Pat Kelly, who's a bass player from a punk band that's been with us since the beginning of everything. He's like, I can help you guys too.
Good.
So Chicago's going to happen at some point between Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Yep.
somewhere in there, and then we're going to do the show here. Mike might be out of town, so we'll figure out
Okay.
we'll figure it out. But we'll do a Starfish here the night before.
Yep.
I want to do more stuff with you. I don't know. What about you? What do you think?
I think that Marin's going to really help me.
Yeah, 100%.
I think this will open up a lot of acting doors.
Yeah.
I think it'll open up some stand-up doors.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do the Melbourne Comedy Festival next year.
Yeah.
A one-man show.
Yeah.
Those are the two main things I like. The right now, that's the main thing I'm shooting for, is doing the festival next year, because I really got sidetracked by Marin, and then my back really fucked me.
Right.
But my back's better.
Oh, and we're going to go out together and do that thing. We're doing Indianapolis together.
Yes. And that's mostly it. I think that a lot of acting doors are going to open up, and I think that I'm gonna do Melbourne. And I think I'm gonna put out another album. I don't think I'll do a special. I think I'll do another album.
My goal in doing a special is not to get have a special. My goal is to have some material on YouTube that when people go, I
get that. I get that.
That's
actually
what people always do. They always go, I YouTube.
You know what I've thought about doing? I've thought about just taking a camera and doing a night somewhere and recording everything off the album, and then putting that all up on YouTube as YouTube bits.
Here's why I wouldn't do that. A, you'll generate a new hour quickly.
Right.
You want content people don't have. Also, Uncool, my special that people like is okay, but it doesn't match the record, and that's exactly what I did. And most people are like, I like the record better.
That's interesting.
And your record is great, and the thing about your record is it's a moment. It's not just a bunch of bits. It's your first record. It happened at Meltdown. It happened because of the podcast. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's nobody seeing that stuff. It's just better if you do something new.
Yeah.
The thing that the King Sweater idea was partly because, I was like, I can't not play guitar by myself. I have to be able to do it by myself. But also, in my mind, I've always thought about a show that was 4 or 5 songs and stories, and with a band, with just a 3-piece behind me doing it. I can't really do that in the Monarchs. It's too big of a thing, and it's not really my show. Right. I want the Monarchs to be a band that I'm just a cog in the thing. But I want to be able to do a show like that. That's something I would want to take to Melbourne.
Yeah, that's interesting.
To do a show that's like got little songs in it, but mostly storytelling, and it's a lot about music. That's to me.
Yeah, sure.
And about getting caught in my jewelry. I got caught up. I went to say goodnight to everybody and got my hand caught in my necklace.
We'll talk about that on the podcast, the other podcast we do.
Yeah.
So this will come out, I don't know, in 4 weeks from now. We had to record this because Greg is leaving for Australia tomorrow.
Tonight. I leave tonight at midnight.
But your run's already over at the festival, but you'll be around the country.
Oh, yeah. And you can go to my website, and then I've got the dates.
And you've been offered cheetahs.
People have offered to take me to see cheetahs. I've been offered to see kangaroos. Here's the thing: stop bringing the Tim Tams out. I can't. It's so sweet, but I can't. My goal also for this 8 weeks is to lose some weight as well.
Well, when I go to Australia, I'll say the opposite.
You're gonna eat the fuck out of it?
Yeah, bring the fucking Tim Tams. I don't give a shit. I give up.
Glitter.
Done 200.
Get the shirt.